crack team from Microsoft UK, Chris, Anna, Lucy, and Mark, and they're going to take you through roadmap for Dynamics 365 and Power Platform. Thanks very much for starting the recording, and I will hand it over to Lucy. Are you going to start?
I am. Thank you so much, Mr. Bibster, for inviting us and the rest of the UG team to present at today's all-day event. I'm only gutted that yet again we're at our home offices and not in London having a coffee and actually meeting people, but it feels like we're closer than we've ever been to actually getting to that point. So can't wait to see some of you in real life at some point soon. So today, as Andrew said, I'm joined by my fantastic partner technical architect colleagues in Mark, Anna, and Chris. I don't know, guys, if you just want to jump off of mute and just introduce yourselves. We'll start with Marco, if that's all right.
Oh, thank you very much. Hey, everyone. My name is Mark O. I am from our OCP, so our one commercial partner team here at Microsoft, and I get the awesome opportunity to work with partners within the Dynamics and Power Platform space, helping them innovate and create really awesome solutions that consumers and customers and organizations get to use to really harness value and digitally transform. I have the amazing opportunity of working with some really great, talented people. One of them, of course, is Lucy. Another one from the technical team is Anna.
Thank you so much, Marco. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for inviting us to talk this morning. My name is Anna Demeny, and I'm a partner technical architect working in the same team as Marco and Chris. Every day we have the great opportunity to actually help partners and customers reach their goals with regards to Dynamics 365 and the Power Platform. My particular specialty is helping people integrate their solutions into either the Power Platform or other environments as well. We've worked with partners who had systems within Azure, AWS, Google Cloud, and everything can be integrated within Power Automate. Power Platform. Power Automate is my next area of focus, and specifically RPA, which, as you'll see in just a moment, is becoming increasingly important for Microsoft partners and customers all over the world. I'm going to hand over to my colleague, Chris.
Thanks, Anna. Yeah, so I am another one of the we're called partner technical architects, and my product focus is on the finance and operations stack. So long history of working with finance, supply chain, D365 commerce, D365 project operations, bit of Power Platform and Azure thrown in for good measure. And yeah, so I'll be taking you through a few of the F&O stack features that were in Wave 1 today.
Fabulous. Thank you so much, guys. And I realise I didn't properly introduce myself, but that's fine because I'm essentially the admin bunny that works between these fantastic technical leaders that we have in our business to support our partners and subsequently their customers in becoming famous within Microsoft, be it for the IP that they deliver or the solutions that they have to offer. But without further ado, so today's agenda, we're going to start off by handing over to Anna, who's going to take us through this complete new wave of automation. As Anna mentioned, RPA is a particularly hot topic for us at the moment. We probably, between Anna and I, have 3 or 4 conversations a day just on RPA's capability, Power Automate Desktop, and some of the fantastic other offerings that are available as part of the Power Automate stack. And it's just really to give you a whistle stop of some of the capabilities that we have now that we announced recently that we're due to announce coming up. And then Anna's going to take us on to talk a little bit more in depth about Power Effects that some of you may have heard a little bit about at Microsoft Ignite over the recent months. Then we're going to hand over to the fabulous that guy Marco to take us through some of the updates from a marketing and sales perspective and what that means for our customers and for their customers, and how we can personalize our journeys that bit more before we finish off with a fantastic Chris and his gorgeous dog Toby. He hopefully won't make too much of an important impact in today's session to take over from a Dynamics 365 finance perspective, covering commerce and also intelligent automation. And you'll notice that actually, because I've got this fabulous crack team, I don't have a huge amount to do today. So I'm going to take you through some upcoming events that we have that you will really not want to miss. So without further ado, I'm going to hand over to Anna, Anna, hopefully you should be able to control the slides from your side, but if not, just give me the nod and I'll do that for you. Anna, we can't hear you, sweetheart. I don't know if you're on mute.
I was on mute indeed.
Ah, found in the pot.
2021, exactly. But I did manage to move the slides though, right? Yeah. So I decided to, as my area of the Microsoft roadmap, I've decided to actually highlight this new era of automation that we are building at Microsoft together with partners and customers. Today, we're going to speak a little bit about Power Automate and what it contains, what sort of updates have recently been made, and what are the plans, what's the roadmap for this tool to be useful to us. So actually, to begin with, we all know all about the key challenges that we've got in the workspace right now, and I really don't think I should dwell too much on it because we all know that we have a lot of hard to manage workflows. We know that we all have to work from home now, and we need to do even more repetitive tasks than before when we were in the office. It was really difficult before to bridge the old applications that we had to use every day with newer APIs. And we had really great accessibility issues and high code platforms as well before actually introducing some of the tooling from Microsoft. And in this case, it will be Power Automate. This year has proven to be a great, is this slide moving? Sorry. It's not. This year has proven to be a great force for digital transformation for us. Everyone, and last year as well, everyone had to work from home all of a sudden, everyone have been given more permissions, maybe they should have, and all of our efforts within governance, compliance, and work in general have potentially taken a step back. This year at Ignite, Microsoft actually announced that they were gonna offer Power Automate for Desktop for free in order to enable everyone to achieve more within their own capabilities. So whereas before you had to do everything manually, right now we can actually record all of the steps from our manual tasks onto our own desktops. So this comes as part of a Windows 10. And just trigger those flows manually from Windows 10 for free. This is a really big deal because soon RPA becomes the most popular tool that we have seen so far. Everyone's actually asking about it. We are hearing it from customers, from partners. Everyone can just see the tool within their Windows 10 really, really soon. But a lot of people have actually been able to download the tool and start automating on their own devices. Now, when I keep telling people that RPA from a Microsoft perspective is now for free, they really don't understand how that can be. And it's actually, it does make a lot of sense because what we mean by RPA in Windows, it only means that you can just install the tool within your desktop machine. Then you will be able to launch Power Automate for Desktop and you'll be able to record the steps for whatever tasks that you're doing. But then whenever you need to trigger those workflows to work, you're going to have to trigger them manually. So there will be no other way for you to trigger the workflows other than actually extend your automation capabilities with RPA. This still means that more and more people will be able to produce automation. And once they've decided that this is a very useful thing to do, they can actually go ahead and to their stakeholders, and they will be able to combine desktop flows with cloud flows. We can then use AI Builder to extract data from documents and infuse intelligence within our processes. And also we're going to be able to view, manage, and control all of those manual tasks by using Center of Excellence and centralized governance. This is a really big step in the area of automation, and we are seeing more and more partners starting not only to learn about the tool and to teach others about the tool and to actually provide consultancy, but we are actually seeing partners in the field creating products, specific RPA products for Microsoft. And this is a really big deal because we are seeing a new era of these ISVs who are able to create new products that will be used for easier collaboration and enterprise governance as well. We're starting to talk about one intelligent automation platform for everyone. So we're moving away a little bit from just Power Automate or Flow, and we're calling this an intelligent automation platform. We are actually using Power Automate and RPA as a last mile integration. You will see here that you can actually still digital transform your business by using cloud flows. We still have all of these connectors available within our cloud flows, and now the difference is that we can actually connect all of these with any of the legacy applications that we do have. Whereas before we were using artificial intelligence within cloud flows, all of a sudden this AI capability also becomes more important for us because we can actually use it with legacy applications, and I am including here any old Java applications. There are processes that connect into SAP that work over Citrix and other virtual machines. So really complex complex authentication processes that can be achieved via RPA and R1 intelligent automation platform. We're also talking about automation of not being an island. So whereas with other providers, you will see that whenever we would like to automate manual tasks, we would have to create a robot for virtually everything. To use the AI capability, we will have to create a robot to actually integrate with any email capability or file services or virtual machines and so on and so forth. Well, the big deal with the Microsoft RPA, and this is if there's one thing that I'm hoping that you'll take away from this presentation, is the fact that we would still tend to do as much automation as possible in the cloud. And then we will actually move on to creating robots as only the last mile integration, allowing us to create very complex hybrid systems and allowing us to start automating only those soaring processes that we absolutely need to, creating an even greater return of investment and giving us an immediate visibility of the results of our work. To move a step further, Microsoft has introduced Process Advisor as a process mining tool. This does come as part of your RPA license. So this does mean that you're going to be able to get started really quickly and then quickly gain insights with regards to your processes. The way you do this is actually creating a new process. You can record all of your steps for your business process. You will then be able to share this process with all of your colleagues, and they can also contribute and share their opinion with regards to what they believe the process should be. And then finally, you're going to be able to analyze these processes to give you a much better understanding on what sort of information you should actually begin to look at, and which of the processes you will have to automate really quickly. This does mean that we're going to be able to focus our efforts on only those parts that are really soaring our business. Therefore, once again, creating just this new era of automation. Many companies and many people in the world have already recognized this, and actually we do have almost 25 billion automated actions running every month all over the world. And we do have 2.8 monthly active users who are able to use Power Automate RPA. Furthermore, we have been recognized by the new Forrester Wave report as a leader in the Magic Quadrant of their report, specifically for RPA. So whereas before we would still be a really good, an amazing partner for and player for low-code applications and power apps and automation and all these things together, right now we can see straight away that we're there for RPA as well. So if you don't know much about this technology, I think now's the time to actually start looking at it, because actually what we are seeing is more and more people demanding to know about Microsoft RPA and wanting to even branch out when they do have other RPA providers, and starting to slowly start automating with Microsoft robotic process automation. This is it on RPA for today. Lucy, if I can hand over to you. You're on mute.
I am, but I'm actually going to hand straight back to you, Anna, to talk about PowerFX.
I don't know if you could maybe make my slide visible, because I think it's hidden right now, unless you can see it.
No, we can see it. We can see it.
Okay, perfect. Yes, so the other very exciting step that Microsoft has taken towards even further automation and towards uniting this world of digital and non-digital and citizen developers and professional developers was the introduction of PowerFX. You might have heard about this at Ignite this year. Microsoft PowerFX is a new low-code programming language. Those of you who have done any sort of Canvas apps are familiar with it. Those of you who have never done any, have never created any Canvas apps, you are also familiar with this language if you've ever written an Excel formula. The way this new initiative helps the community is by actually bridging the gap between citizen developers and professional developers. You will now be able to actually access the full Pro code for Canvas apps. So right now you can edit that code within Visual Studio or Visual Studio Code. So once your citizen developers have created all of their apps and everything they need, for that last mile development and automation, you can actually write your own C# code and carry on for that. It will be able to handle relational data, relational databases. It is absolutely built for low code. So those of you who, once again, who have ever worked with Excel will be able to code in this new programming language. And very importantly, you will be able to have a full ALM and that's like application lifecycle management and full DevOps for your Canvas apps really soon. As a Microsoft roadmap, we are planning to extend these capabilities into other areas such as Power Automate, Power Virtual Agents, and much more beginning next year. But for now, we are only talking about Canvas apps. I'm only mentioning these other products because if you're thinking, oh, actually, I don't do any Canvas apps, I don't really care, well, you will care really quickly because there's other functionality coming. So yeah, I think this is another big update that you should have a look at.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for taking us through that, Anna. I really appreciate that.
Thank you.
And now I'm going to introduce the fabulous That Guy Marco to take us through some of our launches and updates that you should be aware of from a Dynamics 365 marketing and sales perspective. Marco, the stage is yours. And I think you're still on mute as well.
Thank you, everyone. It's just my team's taking a few seconds there to pop off. Again, my name is Marco. I'm going to spend, I think I've just got under 15 minutes. I'm always conscious of making sure everyone's got some time. And I know Chris has got some really amazing bits. So I don't want to cut too much into his time. And so I'm going to use the next, just like I said, under 15 minutes to talk about Dynamics 365 marketing. I appreciate it's not the biggest well-known piece of the Dynamics ecosystem. So if we refer to Modern Workplace as our collaboration platform, Azure is then the infrastructure, BizApps is more the sensible platform where we get pieces done. Our Dynamics marketing piece then is where we try to help those using it elevate customers' experiences. Reason being, we believe if you're able to really give our customer an amazing experience, then you've earned a customer for life. We see that now in how we have been forced to kind of engage and do things with our retail habits and how things have changed so much before we came here. A good example is how we're having this user group now. It's virtual. In the previous times, we used to have a bit of a get together. If there was budget, there would be some drinks, maybe some pizzas, perhaps even some drinks afterwards, not putting Andrew or anyone under any pressure. But unfortunately now we're virtual. So the very least we could do is perhaps maybe some vouchers or Uber Eat or Deliveroo code or promo code. Again, I'm not putting any of the Dynamics user group team on the spot. I'm just saying this is the new life we found ourselves working in. We heard earlier on some of us having to deal with pets. For others, it may be kids. For others, it's just being in the confine of your small place. But I belabored the point just to say that things have changed, and obviously we need technology then to help evolve and support us with the way we do things. So if we thought about marketing in the old world, it was, you know, blast everybody with emails till they either blocked us and spammed us, or until eventually they hit the unsubscribe button, which generally most people just use to see if their marketing campaigns were working. And then we said, oh, we can get a little bit clever. Let's start doing male, female, or them, she, her, whatever the personal identification may be of the person. And let's start working in segments and seeing how we can demand generate doing things that way. And again, that was working really great. But like I said, it's down to those personal experiences, those experiences that make you feel like, actually, this isn't a blast. They actually know what I'm doing because I went into their shop, which is that 3.0 area we're trying to get into. Real-time event-based journeys, which know what's happened, which are a little bit more familiar with me as an end user, as a consumer, and actually you understand my journey better. So you're not sending me an email about a top I just bought because I just bought the top. You should know that. What kind of email system or marketing system you're using? Well, hopefully soon, Dynamics 365 marketing. So one of the key updates I wanted to talk about was the real-time customer journey orchestration. And in this, oh, I'm so sorry. If everyone could just help me, please mute your mic. It just makes it slightly easier for me because sometimes we get a bit more of an echo, and so everybody can hear. If you want to ask a question, I'm more than happy to try and take a question mid-flow. If not, we can just drop it in the chat and I can grab it at the end. But if it's super desperate, then of course, please feel free to jump off the mic if it is a question. But in terms of real-time customer journey orchestration, as I said, we want to try to revolutionize how organizations address some of the challenges we mentioned before. One of the big ones then is being able to create a journey that's engaging and impactful, and it's customer led. So by that, I mean, you should be able to see what I've done And based on that, then in the back-end system, you'll be able to use that information to create this customer journey that we're speaking about here. And this is what this first piece is designed to do. So this customer journey orchestration capability was just announced. It should be something that will be made available as part of the April 21 preview. And this innovation is really designed to bring across some of those bits that I mentioned before. The main one being the real-time engagement, not 2 days later or a day later, but at the same time when you know something's done. That allows you to win customers and I guess earn loyalty faster. But what's really cool here is you have the ability to do this with the back end and power of AI, so artificial intelligence and Microsoft's machine learning. So from this, and I'm hoping you can see the screenshot very well. No, it's not the best screenshot, but this is more to kind of open you up to the idea and hopefully reach out to the team. But we can do very clever things now, such as segment-based marketing campaigns, as well as moment-based interactions. So now we're saying, well, I can create something that's perhaps based on a flash sale or based on a moment, or maybe based on the person just doing something in store. So perhaps you've just bought and I'm going to use electronics as a really wild example. With TV, why not now do I start campaigning and sending you information on how you can get the latest soundbar to match that TV? So, you know, some speakers at half the cost because you just came in, and maybe set it as a bit of a time response just based on those people that may respond within a certain time. So, you know, we see these offers, you get a free soundbar if you respond by the end of the day or by the end of the month. These are some of the things now we can build into our particular journeys to make that marketing and make that interaction a lot more rich and a lot more engaging. So no more flat, we don't know who we're talking to, or we don't know why we're on this particular journey. We can create these customer journeys, these engagement journeys based on some of these outcomes. So the example I gave there was one, if somebody buys a TV, can we start sending them information based on their customer journey purchase of a TV about a soundbar, about some services to have that particular TV put up. If I jumped into our world, a little bit more of a serious world, it could be how we reach out to those customers and make sure we're keeping in touch, we're keeping them abreast of what's going on. So a massive piece. I know it's been a long time asked for and a long time coming on the roadmap to be able to create these and make them segment based, so you can have these individual journeys. I remember working with a partner who was looking at doing this for the education space. So, you know, you have students that register and maybe they may start on one customer journey or segment journey. If I use this example to say, hey, I am looking at this course, but you know, their students, they may change their mind. They may want to look at multiple courses. For that partner, it was always a pain to work out how they could have these kind of segment-based journeys and interactions, divide them up, but most importantly, then have this kind of ecosystem that is also talking back to sales. So that's if you're using the Dynamics platform to manage your sales aspect, or if I said you're not doing sales, just manage your overall relationship management. So XRM, anything relationship management. You'll hear Chris when hopefully he jumps on talking about commerce, so the salesy part of our segment, and how this can also engage to really help you bring down those walls, those silos that stop things from happening and stop people from interacting. And it's, like I said, it's a really great way to capture that real-time experience, but then convert that into loyalty, convert that into a customer win, because they feel as though, hey, you really understand my journey here. You know, I've just bought this, and rather than just send me a generic email, this feels a lot more personalized. So I feel like the journey I'm going through with you feels a lot more personalized to myself. While keeping on the whole theme of how we reach out, so those journeys as one part, but actually, what about the content we use as part of those journeys, the emails we send out? For years, everybody has said, you know, we love the email editor in Dynamics, and maybe that's me exaggerating a bit, but actually we find it quite limited. There's only so much you can do with it, and there's so much more we'd love to be able to do. That's really then where the new email editor comes into play. So first of all, like all Microsoft solutions right now across the platform, they are being injected with AI. So AI for recommendations on the kind of content you can use, AI for recommendation on kind of channels. So are we going to send this as an email? Are we going to reach out perhaps via text messaging services or social media as another example? And then very importantly, then customer segmentation and analytics, a bit of a mouthful there. So the AI is helping you to help almost build some of these customer segmentation groups, where you're going to send them to, some of the content you're going to send it, as part of, as well as then the actual editor itself that gives you this whole idea of a centralized way of working. So not only do you get the AI, again, the AI is going to help us with some recommendations, content, how we should be distributing this, how we should be segmenting our customers or this customer segmentations so that we ensure we're delivering the right message. But on top of that now, it's giving you this centralized asset library. So a place where you can store everything, be it to help you with version management, to help people find things. It's always a pain. We had the same problem here when we're doing an event and I say to Lucy, hey, Lucy, can I grab that picture or that graphic or that icon you used for the previous event? How can we grab that again? How can I reuse that? In this case, using the marketing platform, you have a centralized library. One that, of course, you can have your natural publishing process, so you can have things checked and approved before they go out, making it a lot easier for your team so they know they've used pieces that have already been signed off and approved. But again, for me, the most important bit is just that click and configure. So I'm very, very into drag and drop editing, drag and drop creation, trying to be able to use this to make our lives a lot more easier in how we produce some of these rich, interactive email and marketing content. Naturally, because it's based on our platform, we help with the unsubscribing pieces. We put that in there to make it easier. We help you with the tracking to make it easier as well. So you've got AI in the background helping you understand, hey, are these really cool marketing emails that I'm taking hours to build and design, are they even hitting the inboxes of my intended respondents? Are they being looked at? Are those emails being bounced back, as another example? So a whole set of rich analytics to go behind this rich new redesigned email editor that's absolutely infused with AI. Just as I round up again, I said I'm really keen on making sure you hear from Chris. One other big bit for me then is the Teams integration. We're lucky enough to be talking to yourselves today via Teams. We've seen how really prominent the big three, if I call them that. So by big three, I mean the unified comms systems, Teams, Zoom, and the WebEx, Cisco have become as part of our everyday working life. It only makes sense then that we incorporate this into some of the marketing and some of the way we do events. So naturally, we have the integration now provided. This dramatic shift we've been seeing that's moved us from virtual events. As I said, we could have had this as a virtual event with coffee, with teas, pizza, and everything else, but now it's moved to an online event. Could actually have been managed entirely through the marketing platform. And again, apologies if you can't see very well the screenshots here, but you can see you can turn an event using the marketing platform very quickly into a live event where you can track some of the conversations, you can track some of the attention that's going on here, and it's bringing that Teamsy experience that we're used to for our internal collaboration, for our internal meetings, now to the live arena. So that's virtual events. The big bit for me here is, I know, people are looking at this and thinking, oh, I wonder how much is that going to cost, or I wonder how much this is going to affect my licensing or my proposition. The great news is for the first 6 months. So for the first 6 months, if you as a customer or as a partner working with a customer have E3, so this is a Microsoft Enterprise pricing, or E5, you get access to Dynamics 365 marketing at no additional cost. So we're giving you this to not only help you drive engagement, conversion, but wherever you are dealing with webinars, events like this, social groups, we're giving you the opportunity as a customer who has E3 or E5 to get access and start playing with this for free right now. And Microsoft are really keen on supporting the digital transformation of everything going on right now. This is, for me, an amazing step, because I know there's loads of promotions and offers going ahead so far for Teams. So to add this and the capability in marketing, so that capability to create those customer personalized journeys, that ability to use that rich email editor to create these really enriching, intuitive emails or blasts on social media, if that may be the case, with AI helping you pick the right people, the right time for it to go out. You've got the content all in the right place. And then this bit of this cherry on the cake on top piece at the end, saying, well, you can then have the whole entire event, similar to how we're doing now, all backed off by Microsoft Teams Live. Again, I only had a short moment to talk to you about this. We have loads more. You can find that by our upcoming marketing partner workshops. There's some reg links there. Hopefully the slides will go out to you so you can see this. You can get some hands-on playing of this, especially that customer journey orchestration piece, which I think is the secret sauce. Then, of course, some resources. So if you're not familiar, you want to learn, you want to get certified up so you can talk to your customers or others with confidence. There's some links there for some on-demand training, some learning paths. If you want to learn more about some of the bits I said or go more into depth about some other bits announced, we have some links to the March 2021 Ignite sessions as well as the blogs. I know it was only a short time speaking with me. My name is Marco. I was just talking to you there on some of the new updates of Dynamics 365 marketing. It is humble point. I spoke to you earlier about getting the opportunity to work with Anna, who is a great guru. I'm now going to hand over to another great guru in our F&O space, Chris Haley.
Thanks, Mark. That was absolutely awesome. I want to buy D365 marketing now. Let me click take control. Let's see if we can advance the slides.
You'll be planning all your personal events on that soon, won't you?
Yeah, absolutely. I love a new toy to play with. Oh, Mark, you've got customer engagement wave 1 updates. There's a slide in here now. Did you not want to talk through some of these?
I can, sorry, the slides are in a different order for me. I do apologize. Yes, so I do get the awesome opportunity to also speak a bit high level at the customer engagement piece. I'm just looking at time, Chris. I may actually let you go first if that's all right, and then jump back to talk about the customer engagement piece, because there's only a few pieces there. And like I said, I'm really keen for everyone to hear about the F&O pieces, because there's so much great stuff, especially the commerce, and I think I've spoken enough, so I'm going to keep quiet.
Well, yeah, so I mean, finance and operations is obviously a big product collection of products, right? And there's tons of stuff in the wave 1 release. And so I'd encourage people, if you're on that platform, go and check out the docs page that describes all the details, because you'll find lots of little nuggets in there that are being lit up over the next few weeks and months. So I've picked out a few highlights that I wanted to go over today that you might not have seen. So the first one is D365 Finance Insights. So this is something that's going to be going into preview I think in July is the plan. And it's all about infusing artificial intelligence into the finance department of every organization, assuming you're running D365 Finance, of course, in your back office. But the first thing that it's been worked on for quite some time, building out this AI model, but it's about being able to feed in a load of historical data about your customers and how good they are at paying their bills on time. So, you know, a lot of organizations give credit terms to customers, and they, you know, it might be 30-day, 5-day, whatever it is. How good are customers at actually paying on time? Well, the artificial intelligence can take that historical data, and then it can give you a prediction of when it expects the customer to pay their bill. So once you've got that kind of info available, that you can take that forward into cash flow forecasting. And this is a job that all organizations have to do, right? You need to know what your cash position is going to be at any given point in time. And it's usually quite a manual process to look at historical information. There's usually a lot of Excel spreadsheets floating around from different departments trying to gather this together. So the AI model can take inputs from the payment prediction output model and your current commitments to your suppliers, and it'll tell you then essentially what your cash position is going to be over the coming whatever period of time you're looking at. And indeed give you an estimated bank balance value for each of your bank accounts. So that's quite cool. The next feature that's in preview is the intelligent budgeting. So that's about being able to automate to some extent the budgeting cycle that tends to happen either quarterly, half yearly, or annually in every organization. And it's taking information about your previous budgets, how well people and departments have tracked to those budgets over the year, And then it will give you a prediction or a baseline from which to base your next year's budgets on. So again, it's just using AI to streamline a lot of the manual back office tasks that a finance department have to do. But then there's a really cool feature which is actually already available in finance and operations today, with some new forms and data entities that would give us the ability to import your supplier invoices. Now, there's lots of solutions out there on the market already for this, but the idea is that Finance Insights will just light this up natively using the Power Platform AI Forms Recognizer. So the idea with that is you just give it loads of invoices that you've received from your partners in the past. And then those invoices can be read, all the data gets automatically uploaded into Dynamics Finance, and then someone reviews it. And you implement this in stages. You start out by checking every one that comes through and saying, you know what, actually, yeah, I've got like a 99% confidence in what the AI model is telling me is on the invoice. And then you can start to automate the flow within Dynamics then as well. So automatic approvals, or just looking for approval by exception, all those kinds of things you can phase in over time. So there'll be a nice story around how to enable it. Finance Insights will give you a single way of licensing it, so that you don't have to think about the different Power Platform components you're leveraging as part of that. And that's coming in summer in preview. So keep an eye out for that one if you've got D365 Finance, or if you're thinking about D365 Finance, that might be something that helps tip you over the edge. So the next big thing which got announced but is actually already generally available is the business-to-business e-commerce websites. So e-commerce isn't new for Microsoft in the D365 commerce world. We've had this new, relatively new platform on which you can, if you're in the retail space and you want a proper e-commerce website that's massively scalable, e-commerce gives you that. What we now have on the same platform is B2B e-commerce site templates and features. So if you are not in the sort of traditional retail space, you might still want to consider this if you've got a large volume of trading partners, or a relatively small number, but they put through massive order volumes, and want that kind of large scale experience that you might expect from a true online retailer. So the features that it brings with it are integration with D365 Sales. So if you come onto the e-commerce website and you don't already have a login, you can click a button and fill a form out, and it'll send a lead through to D365 Sales so that you can follow up on that. But then things like the onboarding experience. So if we do approve that new customer, we give them a portal so that they can fill out their details and give other people in their organization access to the portal to make orders and manage all that for themselves, so you don't have to do that in-house. It's got like quick order entry, so that it's optimized for people who know exactly what they're doing. Maybe they're entering an order for 100 products and you want to use a template. You want to save those templates and reuse them, just adjust them before you submit. All that kind of stuff's there. And obviously, a very important one is payment on account. So you don't have to actually pay for things with the credit card there, and then you can just receive an invoice, and then you can view those invoices and account statements through the portal as well. So important to note, there's some new pricing tiers available as well. So some slight changes to the model of how we charge for it that should make it more accessible for more businesses. And there's been a ton of interest in this, and it's incredibly powerful. So yeah, take a look at that if it's something that could benefit your organization. Moving forwards and sticking with the commerce theme, I wanted to bring out this Dynamics 365 connected store, which is probably not well known, but this is another instance of artificial intelligence permeating into our products and into our lives. Even if you're not in this space yourselves, you can probably relate to it. The retail shopping experience and how it's changed this last year. But the idea is with connected store is we're using computer vision. So the cameras that are in the traditional security cameras, a lot of the time can be leveraged for this, and then they're hooked up to an AI model on the edge, which means that we can track people's movements, and it can start to sound a little bit creepy when you walk into a shop and this stuff's going on, but it can make some really big differences to the way that that shops operate, and so. One thing, so 3 things are going into preview this summer, and the first one is display effectiveness. So a lot of retailers actually sell, the end of aisle displays where you've got products that are often on offer. A lot of suppliers will actually pay to have space in the areas that get the most attention, and with a well-placed camera, you can actually see how many people are dwelling by those, they call them end caps, and see what's going on. And that means you can report back to your suppliers that you bought some space on that shelf and it's been really effective, not just by showing the number of sales of the products, but also how often people are stood looking at those offers that are on the shelf. An impactful one, though, queue management. You'll be able to monitor the lengths of queues for each checkout and automatically respond to those events where it's more than however many people in the queue. You could automate the announcement over the tannoy, can I have more cashiers at checkout number 2, please, or whatever those announcements are. And then also being able to monitor store traffic. So that's basic footfall calculations, but you can do it by store entrance. If you've got different entrances into your shops, you can see where people are entering and exiting the store, so you can do better product placements. All kinds of cool stuff. There's loads more features in the pipeline for this, but it is, for us in the UK, there's a Marks and Spencer store in London that already has this up and running, and I think their stores are open. So yeah, keep an eye in the sky if you're in London walking around that shop anytime soon. I've got one more thing that I want to introduce today, which is a brand new Dynamics 365 product called Intelligent Order Management, and I am sticking again with the sort of retail theme a little bit here, because it does work really well for a lot of retail organizations, but any customer out there who's got a complex supply chain, and by that I mean when you've got sales orders coming in from potentially lots of different places. Maybe you've got maybe you're listing your products on Amazon Marketplace or eBay or any number of other online marketplaces like that. You might have orders coming in direct through integrations that you've got with certain customers. Various other channels are out there for collecting sales orders. Those systems might not be on Dynamics 365. We'd love it if they were, but there's a lot of different systems out there. This intelligent order management system allows you to funnel all of those sales orders in from wherever they come from. You can then use AI, but we can coordinate how best to fulfill those orders. So this is where, again, if you're in retail and you've got warehouses across the country, you've got potentially third parties managing those warehouses. You potentially just outsource delivery. Maybe you've got an outsourced company in Europe that does your deliveries for you there, so that you don't have to worry about the cross-border stuff now with Brexit. You can send the order on to whatever system needs it to fulfill it based on information from the order itself, so like the delivery address and stuff like that. So this is something that actually, if you remember what Marco was talking about with the that flow designer and the real-time experience, it's the same user interface that we've leveraged in intelligent order management. So it's all about designing these flows that a business user can do this. It's not a technical integration piece. The business users can really figure out how best any given order should be fulfilled, and then use this tooling to actually get it done. So I'm conscious of time. I don't want to drone on any longer, so I'll finish up there and pass it back to Lucy, I think.
Thank you so much, Chris. That was fantastic, taking us through all that capability. There are actually a couple of questions in the chat, if you wouldn't mind.
I'll take a look now, yeah.
Thank you so much. Hopefully I should be able to skip to the final few slides. I'm conscious of time, so bear with us just for a few seconds, guys. But I just wanted to make you aware of the events coming up in the next few weeks, or that have just happened, but we're happy to share the content with you afterwards. So from a Power Platform perspective, we've actually had a series of events over the last couple of weeks and coming up next week, all around either starting your Power Platform practice or supercharging your Power Platform practice. Hopefully you can see my slides. I'm having a bit of trouble with Teams catching up with me, but you should be able to see those there. And we've had a couple of these events already, so you'll see some links in the chat now to be able to access the content that we presented at those events. Sadly, we weren't able to record them because of security and GDPR, but we are able to share the content that we presented with you afterwards. And coming up next week on the 27th of April, we've got a whole session focused on supercharging your Power Platform practice, which covers off loads of really incredible in-depth topics with Marco and Anna on things like RPA automation, everything you're going to want to know. So take some time out of your day, grab a coffee and join us for that. And then, again, if you're keen to focus on RPA, Anna has actually put together a fantastic session, which is almost like a train the trainer session, really to enable you to be able to deliver RPA in a day content, which is happening over a couple of hours each day, so from 10 till midday each day from the 3rd, 4th and 5th of May. I think, Anna, you've done a fantastic job on sort of dividing up that content to make sure that it's not too bamboozling for people, conscious of COVID fatigue. So we try to make sure that we spread that content out to give you a really accessible event. And I've just put the links in the chat to how you can get involved in those sessions. So with that, I just want to say a massive thank you to the fabulous Partner Technical Architect team, Chris, Anna and Marco. You did a fantastic job. I'm conscious there are some questions in the chat, so we will get back to you on those. I'm also conscious that we didn't have time to cover everything from a sales perspective as well. You will get these slides. There are a couple of slides in there with the updates to the sales focus as well. So just ping us if there are any questions that come out the back of that. But with that, I'd like to wish you all a fantastic day. Enjoy the incredible content that the user group team, Andrew and team have put together. I know for a fact I'll be sticking by for many of them, and have a fantastic rest of the day. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for